You will hold the head of the most powerful man alive by the hair. You will fill a skin with human blood to keep a promise you made across a river neither of you had crossed yet. You don't know that yet. Level 1. The Wine Cup. You are about 40 years old. Massagetae steppes, east of the Aral waters. 530 BC. Your husband has been dead 3 winters. No council of elders tells you twice what to do. You rule this confederation alone now. Clans scattered across grazing ground. It takes a strong horse 3 weeks to cross. Held together by nothing but your name and the fear of what happens to those who forget it. The wind here never stops. It carries dust, horse sweat, the sour smell of fermented mare's milk. The only drink your people know. Wine you have never tasted. Wine, traders passing through once told you, makes soft men careless, and careless men easy to kill. You remember that detail without knowing why yet. At dawn you watch your riders break camp. Felt tents collapsing like exhaling lungs. Thousands of hooves churning frost into mud. Breath rising off every horse like smoke off a fire not yet lit. West of your border, a new empire has been swallowing older ones whole. A rider comes from that direction. He carries no spear. He carries a proposal. Level 2. The Golden Proposal. Cyrus of Persia has already broken 4 kingdoms. Lydia, Media, Babylon, half the smaller thrones between them. Every year his empire touches a new sea. His messenger kneels inside your tent wrapped in more silk than your entire camp owns combined. He speaks of marriage, union of 2 great peoples. He calls it, in the slow careful voice men use for those they assume won't understand the offer underneath the offer. You understand it perfectly. A husband from Persia does not share a throne with a wife. He inherits it, marry Cyrus, and the Massagetae stop being a nation. They become a province with your name still painted on the door. Fading a little more with every passing year. You refuse him standing, not seated, so he has to look up at you to hear it. The messenger's expression does not move. He rides west with your answer. Cyrus does not accept it, and he does not turn his army home. He starts building something on the riverbank instead. Level 3. The River Bridge. Weeks pass. Your scouts return with lathered horses and worse news. Boats, pontoons, timber lashed with rope thick as a man's wrist. Stretched across the river that has always been your border and your protection both. You can smell the fresh cut wood on your scouts' clothes when they kneel to report it. You do not send Cyrus a threat. You send him a choice. Which is more dangerous? Cross the water and meet you 3 days deep into Massagetae land. Or withdraw to your own side and let both armies meet where the current runs directly between you. So neither side can later blame the river for its own cowardice. It is the offer of a queen unafraid of him. It is also, quietly, a test of what kind of man he actually is underneath the empire. His answer does not come from Cyrus's own mouth. It comes from inside his council tent, where an old man who was once a king himself is talking about wine your people have never learned to fear. Cyrus took that crown from him. 2. Level 4. The Empty Camp. You do not hear this conversation. You will only ever hear its results. Croesus is the former king Cyrus keeps close now. Like a captured, useful trophy, he remembers something crucial about your people. Their bodies have never met wine. They have no defenses built against it. No old stories warning them what it does. The plan needs no real battle yet. A small, poorly armed force will meet your vanguard and lose on purpose. Badly, the way a trap is supposed to lose. Behind their retreat, they leave a camp stocked with roasted meat, fresh bread, and clay jars sealed with wax and filled with dark red wine nobody has warned your riders about. Cyrus agrees to the plan without much debate. He pulls his real army back out of sight and waits, patient the way a man is patient who has never once lost an army. Your son leads the vanguard across the water first. His name is Spargapizes. He is young enough to still believe that winning is simple. Level 5. Your son rides first. Spargapizes crosses at dawn with 8,000 riders under a sky still gray and cold enough to fog every breath. The Persian decoy in front of him breaks fast. Too fast, though nobody stops to wonder why a force this size would run from a fight it hasn't even tried. They scatter toward their own camp, abandoning weapons in the frost. leaving cook fires still smoking behind them. Your son does not know he has won nothing today. He has been given something instead. His men ride into the empty camp and find meat still warm on the spits, bread still soft, and jars of wine sealed only hours ago, waiting like a gift nobody thought to question. None of them has ever tasted wine. All of them taste it now. Level 6. The feast. Night falls warm despite the season. Your son's men eat until the fires burn low. They drink until the jars run dry. Then reach for more that was never there, and laugh instead of worrying about it. The wine does something none of them expects or understands. Legs stop obeying simple commands. Words slur into nonsense halfway through sentences. Men who have fought since childhood lie down in the grass mid-laugh and do not get back up. Spargapizes drinks with his men. He is 20-something years old and has never once needed to be careful before tonight. By midnight, the camp that beat an empire's decoy lies unconscious under open sky. Weapons still strapped to men who could not lift them now if their lives depended on it. The real Persian army has not gone far at all. It has been waiting in the dark this whole time. You do not know yet that midnight is also when it ends for most of them. Level 7. The Return. Cyrus's soldiers walk back through darkness on foot, quiet, stepping carefully over men too drunk to lift a blade in their own defense. There is no battle in that camp tonight. There is only slaughter of men who cannot stand, and the binding of prisoners too dazed to run or even understand what is happening to them as the ropes go around their wrists. Your son is one of the prisoners. They put him in chains meant for someone expected to fight back. He does not fight back. He can barely keep his eyes open long enough to be afraid. By sunrise, a single rider is already crossing east toward your tents, carrying the news before your son's chains have finished rattling in the cart behind him. Level 8. The news. You hear it standing in the open air, and you do not sit down for the rest of what follows. A third of your army, gone in one drunken night nobody saw coming. Your son, captured not in battle, but in his sleep, by a trick with no honor anywhere inside it. Something in your chest goes very still and very cold at exactly the same moment. Which is its own particular kind of pain. The kind that does not show on your face at all. The messenger waits, bracing for grief, for tears, for something he can describe later to the others. You give him none of it. You send him back west instead, carrying a different kind of message, not a plea, a warning. Level 9. The Blood Oath. Your words reach Cyrus's tent within 2 days, carried by a rider whose horse arrives half dead with foam at its mouth and legs shaking under it. They are not long. Return your son, or leave these lands for good. And this ends where it stands. Refuse both. And here is what you swear by the sun your people ride under. I will give you your fill of blood. Cyrus reads the message once, standing in torchlight that turns the parchment the color of a healing wound. He does not send your son back. He does not leave. He is 60-something years old, has ruled for 29 unbroken years, and has never once in his life lost an army. Level 10. Your son's answer. Word of it reaches you before Cyrus's refusal even does. Spargapizes wakes in chains, sober now, and understands exactly what happened to him. Not defeated in open battle, but tricked and humiliated in front of his own surviving men by a drink he was never once warned about. He asks his captors for a single mercy, to have his hands freed from the rope. Just for a moment, just long enough to stand with some dignity left. They grant it, not expecting what comes next. He does not run toward the horizon. He does not fight the men guarding him. He ends his own life quietly, before Cyrus can parade him through any camp as a trophy for soldiers to stare at. The rider who brings you this news does not know how to say it. So he says it plainly, without softening a single word. That is, in the end, the only mercy he has left to offer you. You do not weep in front of him. You will allow yourself that, later, alone, when there is no one left to watch a queen do it. You learn of your son's death the same week you learn Cyrus refuses to retreat. Level 11. The Gathering Storm. Grief does not slow you down at all. It sharpens something in you instead. Something that was already there and only needed a reason. You call in every rider your confederation can spare. Clans from the salt flats, from the river mouth, from grazing grounds 3 full weeks distant on a fast horse. Some who study this war centuries later will guess your full strength at over 200,000 riders. No one alive that year counted exactly. And you did not care to. You send no further messages west. There is nothing left worth negotiating. And both of you know it. The camp around you smells of oiled leather and horse fat for weeks. The smell of an army that intends to finish something. Cyrus moves his real army east across the river he spent months bridging. The same water that was supposed to keep the two of you apart for good. Two sides that have already tasted a little of each other's blood are about to taste all of it at once. Level 12. The battle without mercy. You do not know yet how the story of today will be told once you are no longer the one telling it. Right now you only know how it feels. Arrows, then spears, then only hands. The two armies meet on open ground this time. No river, no trick, no wine standing between them anywhere. Arrows go first, so many at once that the sky visibly darkens before midday. When the arrows finally run out on both sides, men close the distance with spears, then daggers, then simply their hands. You lead from horseback the entire day. The air tastes like blood and churned dust in equal measure, thick enough to feel sitting in your throat. Hours pass without either side breaking cleanly. Riders fall, riders keep coming anyway. Then, slowly, unmistakably, the Persian lines that once broke 4 kingdoms in a row begin to fold in on themselves. By dusk, most of Cyrus's army lies motionless across the grass. Somewhere among the dead is Cyrus himself. Level 13. The filled skin. Your men search the field until they find him. The man who broke 4 kingdoms and finally met one queen's patience running out. Lying now in grass that is no longer green. You order a skin brought forward. The ordinary kind used to carry water on long rides across open country. Today it is filled with something else entirely. Something still warm, still his. You lift his head by the hair yourself. You have kept smaller oaths before in your life. None of them mattered quite like this one. You press his face down into the blood until it covers him completely. Slowly, the way a promise is supposed to be kept, without rushing it. You wanted this land, take this instead. You said you would give him his fill of blood. He ruled for 29 years without ever once running out of other people's. Tonight, for the first time in 29 years, he drinks nothing else. You knew this the moment Silk first knelt in your tent and called conquest by another name. The wine cup was never really about wine. You lived this once. And now, you are history.